beautiful beach of Kulasekharanpattinam on the eastern coast of South India, on the shores of the Indian Ocean. These children are playing near the beach in gay abandon, not aware of what the future holds for them. They are from the Dalit communities of India, at the bottom of the social hierarchy. They are the children of landless laborers. The parents eke out a modest living by working in agriculture or construction. The children go to government schools, in some cases 2 to 3 kilometers away. These schools are themselves in bad shape, with poor facilities and errant teachers. In addition, the Dalit children have also to face discrimination in the school setting. Most of the children are first-generation learners, and the parents cannot help them with their studies. Many of the girls drop out of schools before they reach the 8th grade. The boys generally continue and may even finish school. Very few, however, pursue higher education. Many of the boys migrate to cities in search of menial jobs. The Anawim Trust, which began working in 1991 for the development of women in the area, felt the need to help the children too. With the support of the organization Child Relief and You, known as CRY, Anawim set up supplementary education centers in about 20 villages. Meanwhile, the International Ocean Institute at IIT Madras had been working since 1997 with the Anawim Trust in an Ecovillages project focusing on women. By 1999, IOI was ready to step in to help the children too, when
a chance meeting I had with DP Prakash, a volunteer with Asha for Education USA, led to a project for the all-round development of Dalit children in these villages. It fitted well with the mandate of Asha, which is to focus on basic education of underprivileged children in India.
The objective was to set up an Asha Junior Center in a village with a full-time coordinator who would guide the children through their studies as well as extracurricular activities. The coordinator would also interact with the women's group and help solve common issues. The Asha Center would be an integral part of the developmental activities being implemented by IOI and Anawim in these villages. The first 2-year project funded by Asha Boston began in January 2000 in the village of Melatonipalam. This was soon followed by a second project in the larger village of Kurangantattu with the support of Asha Seattle. Both these villages were chosen as glaring examples of poverty, lack of hygiene, and inadequate support for children. A coordinator was appointed in each village, temporary location arranged, books and play material obtained, and the daily evening classes began. The results started showing soon enough. There was a marked improvement in the performance of children in their schools. Games, supplementary nutrition, and extracurricular activities brought better health and greater joy to the children. They now had a decent classroom for their evening studies. For the first time, the children were reading storybooks and books on environment. Real bats and balls replaced discarded tires as play material.
The very success of the first 2 projects brought with it a major concern. How will the Asha Center sustain itself in the long run? Is it realistic to expect an Asha chapter to fund the center in perpetuity? A sustainable solution had to be found.
Thus was born the idea of a new project, linking microcredit to women with the running of the Asha Center. Asha would fund $10,000 to a village spread over 3 years. A part of the money would be used to start and run the center. Another part would be given as microcredit to the village women's group to be repaid over 20 months with a low rate of interest. As the principal amount is returned every month, it would be ploughed back into the community as more loans. The interest would grow in a separate account as a corpus fund. At the end of 3 years, the corpus fund would be enough to sustain the perpetual running of the centre. In 2000, the Asha Work and Hours scheme funded the first such project in the village of Valasubramaniapuram. Detailed discussions with the women's group ensured their commitment, and the project started in 2001. The women of Valasubramaniapuram are using the credit for a variety of small enterprises. Some have started unique businesses like videography and cable television. The Asha Centre stands out among the dilapidated homes in the village. The new project faced many hurdles. At the end of the first year, however, the corpus fund has grown to 20,000 rupees. Asha Seattle agreed to introduce the Microcredit Link project in Kurangantattu. This has given hopes of self-sustaining centre in this deserving village. More Asha projects have followed. The new centre in Kulasekharanpattinam, supported by the Berkeley chapter, was inaugurated recently. A centre is coming up in Ganesapuram with the support of Asha Silicon Valley, and another one in Nattakkulam founded by Asha Stanford. In keeping with the ecological approach of IOI and Anawim, the Asha Centre is built according to the Baker method. This ecological architecture is the brainchild of the British architect Laurie Baker, who has lived and worked in India for 50 years. The Baker approach minimizes the use of cement and concrete and is also easy to maintain. The building also becomes an asset to the village and is used by the women's group for its meetings. At each Asha Centre, the children have play material for games and a set of 100 books to read. Children are given training in computers and other vocations like bookbinding and tailoring. Once in a year, the children are taken out on a study tour to interesting places. The centre is maintained through a students' committee and a parents' committee. These committees work in close cooperation with the village women's group. The children have opportunity to express their talent in drawing, painting, and cultural performances. Most of the children have learned to ride a bicycle, making it easier to go to school. An exciting project is to get the children to write the history of their village. 2-day environmental training programs have been organized for children in a number of villages with funding from the ION Group Environment Foundation. While the first day covers hands-on training in the organic farm of Anawim, the second day is devoted to making a visible difference in the village itself. A new program to promote biodiversity and herbal gardens through children has been started with the support of the Kaidandren Nature Conservation Fund of Japan.
I first visited Melathoni Palam one evening in 1999. The entire village was sitting glued to the community television. The village itself seemed to be in decay. An open gutter right in the middle, the small temple was crumbling down and out of use, and the children unkempt. Today the picture is quite different. The new Asha Centre stands next to the renovated temple. The bright children gather at the Asha Centre in the evening for games and studies. The Asha project